Good day, friends. Gerald here. I salute you, friends. I just been watching a funny little movie, which I've heard a little bit about, friends. And I was very skeptical about this. Basically, the scenarios with this film is, you know, Gillian Anderson Scully is not in a good way in this. Yeah? She's sad. She's broke. Yeah? Years have passed since her and Mulder split up, and she lost her job at the FBI, yeah? She moves to London or somewhere in, south of England, yeah? She marries some blimmin' clown bloke, yeah? And they get a house together, yeah? And he didn't keep up the payments, So, Paul Bohill comes around and takes a blimmin' house off and just gives them a little telephone number for emergency accommodations. Yeah? They go down. These are, Scully is living with this middle class, upper class, well, he's a middle class, trumped up blimmin' toffee nosed clown. Yeah? But he's been stupid with money. Yeah? He invested money in some stupid scheme. Yeah, and lost it all, and he attached his house to the debt. Yeah, so Paul Bowles, from Don't Pay, We'll Take It Away, comes round, bongs on the door, and says, right, Scully and blimmin' English toffee-nosed prune, you got to get out of the blimmin' house, you're homeless. Yeah, but, here's the number to ring, and he'll give you emergency accommodation. What does this posh toffee-nosed clown does? Yeah, this middle-class blimmin' clown, you've got no clue about the benefits. Yeah, he goes to the doctors. Oh, actually, you got a terminal illness. Oh dear. How long have I got, doctor? Well, we don't know really. Oh, right, terminal illness, okay. Well, are we going to die of this? Oh, yeah, probably going to die of this. CBD, which I thought was, something to do with cannabis, which you can say now because it's legal. Without the funny compound. Yeah. So he goes to the doctor. The doctor said, oh, you've got this terminal illness, it's probably going to kill you. Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah. How long have we got, doctor? Oh, I don't know. A couple of years. Well, actually, I've had this problem for 6 years. Oh, well, you're going to die any time then. Right. So what this stupid clown does, he goes to the benefit office and he says, hello, benefits. We've just been made homeless. Can you help me out? And this is the first bloody mistake the clown did. They say, right, sir, are you going to die in a year? He should have said yes, because he would have had an house then. Him and blimmin', Scully would have had an house. But no, the stupid clown says, well, I don't know really, I'm probably last a good couple of years. Oh, but sorry, can't give you an house then, can't give you a free house. Can't give you emergency accommodations, no hotels, no, no Ibis. Yeah? No Ibis for you. Yeah? Yeah? What happens next, friends? Because I'm giving notes. So what do these people do? They have this stupid idea of buying tent and camping equipment and camping out on the coast and walking the coast. The length and breadth of the coast. It just shows what a bunch of toffee-nosed prunes these people are. Scully and blimmin' Englishman. Yeah? Because they haven't even got the sense to camp inland where there's less wind and cold. Yeah? They're on the coast, man. They got a full strength of the wind. And they're kind of off-grid, and they don't know how to put a tent up, and they put it on the beach and the water comes in and swamps them, and they, poor, Gillian Anderson is looking emancipated, and not in a good way. She's lost loads of weight, man. She's all stinking and audibles, and she's honky, yeah. And she's, lost her looks, man. She was a nice little cherubic, nice little looks in the X-File days, Now her looks are gone, man. She's looking gaunt and thin, and she looks like she could do with a good roast dinners. Yeah, she's looking in a right terrible state. I couldn't even fancy her now in a state. Her hair's through in the grey, she can't afford the blimmin', The blimmin', the Doy of the air anymore. The blimmin', what's the one we like? I don't know. A good make a Doy. Yeah, she can't afford L'Oreal dye. She can't afford that no more. Her hair's getting more and more greyer. She's permanently, in this whole movies, she's like permanently sad. Grumpy. Never smiles. Yeah, grumpy, miserable. Yeah, but walking in the wind and the rain, in the sea, by the sea, putting a tent, it's all flappy and blowy. Yeah, they haven't even thought about making their own little off-grid little log cabin. Yeah, because she's, even though she's FBI trained, she still hasn't got a blimmin' clue how to survive. Yeah, she was just little pen pushers in the office. Yeah, Ashton Mulder saying, I don't know about UFOs and aliens and Mulders, you prune. I'm just here to spy on you. Yeah, just here to spy on you. Yeah, and report back to the old, the top FBI's, the blimmin' Illuminati FBI's and cancer blimmin' man. Yeah, Yeah, and J. Edgar Hoover's. I'm just here to tell him about, his stupid blimmin' research. Right? So what does she do, right? Things are not looking good. She digs up her old diary, her old little, journal, yeah? And she calls this journal the X-Files, strangely enough. And she starts looking through it. She sees Mulder there. She tries ringing him and send him an email. He's off grid, can't find him. She sees David Duchovny there. He don't return a calls. He's off grid. Yeah. And then I want to go to this. So that's basically it, friends. So poor, Scully is not looking good. Her husband is blimmin' disabled. He's how the hell this clown can do 20 miles a day up and down mountains, man? He's clearly faking his blimmin' leg problem. Because Gerald couldn't walk that far. Up and down mountains and things, and the wind beating you in the face, and it's cold, and, stormy, and you can't put a tent up, and a blimmin' this is a strange thing, he's a blimmin' writers, yeah. He said, she's writing this little stories, I went to, Cornwall today, and they wouldn't serve me a pasty. And he said it was, the food was closed and there was one in the cupboard in a little glass thing, keeping warm, like the Greggs, yeah, the Cornish version of Greggs, yeah, and then everywhere he goes, he meets up with funny little obstacles, funny people who listen to the rules, so they check around, I mean, I'll be honest with you, friends, he does this funny thing where he, gets a blimmin', like a fish box, plastic fish box, and he starts going, he starts reading bits from his book, and all of a sudden a crowd appears, oh wow, this is unbelievable, and then blimmin' he throws a heart then to blimmin' Scully, and she goes around, put in the heart, money in the heart, please, for the little, telling the story of the book I just, sell in the shop, right? I'll be honest with you, I could have thought of loads of ways for Scully and this English clown to make money. For a start, Scully should be signing blimmin' X-File merchandise on X-File things, yeah, at the Comic Cons. She could have made a blimmin' fortune doing that. All she got to do is just say to the blimmin' organist, hello, I'm, Scully, can I sign some things at the blimmin' Comic Cons? Yeah, thank you, bye-bye, yeah. Get a grand for blimmin' turning up, sign all the things, love from Scully's, yeah, could have done all that. No thought of making money, Scully. No thought about how to make money, yeah? Leaving it all to your poor husband to write a funny little book, yeah? So anyway, I watch this film, and it's just dreary and sad, and they meet funny little characters along the way, and, and I think this is a depressing blimmin' movies. I hope it gets better. Well, strange enough, I will say one funny little thing. Even though Scully is completely miserable, completely dishevelled, the littlest hobo, not looking attractive at all, really looking, she's not even, even though she's an oldie, she's not even a goodie anymore. She lost her look, she got the grey hair, she got the gaunt face, yeah, she's starving, she's hungry, she hasn't had a good meal enough for a long time, yeah, You know, she's looking really, really sad, you know. And, you know, posh toffee nose English clown who gamble the house, you know, he's, you know, not well, he's not great. And they go on his funny little journeys, you know, and he walking around, they were walking up the mountains, you know. And then again, God, you know, walking up the, you know, I can't understand this film. But anyhow, it did redeem itself in the last few minutes, because basically, you know, he writes a little book, he publishes a book, yeah, and basically it's a worldwide bestseller. And you know now he's learned how to do blimmin' environmental rubbish, yeah. Join bloody that clown, what's his name, Miliband, yeah. So you know become an environmental expert, and now he's joined Miliband now to promote wind farms. What a clown, yeah. Obviously, friend, this is this little video is not factually correct, yeah. It's for entertainment purposes only, yeah. I said it to friends, hope you're okay, yeah. Hope you get the laughs, the fun and the humours, yeah. Right, yeah. So I hope Blimmin' Scully comes back very soon, yeah. Okay, friends, take care. Gerald loves you to bits. You're going to be new little characters here. Look, oh, there's Willie Coyotes, yeah. A little bit of Jennifer Connelly's, a little bit of Frosty, yeah. Frosty's a snowman. Christopher Walkens, see. Gerald's getting her Christmas vibes. I know my blimmin' characters look a little bit pissed. Pardon me, French friend. You know, but you know, they've been on the blimmin', you know, they've been on the tipples, yeah, the cocktails, yeah, yeah. They've been having a right great time. They've been on the blimmin', you know, whiskey double chasers or whatever we call it, blimmin' things. Yeah. They've been on the Penderins. Yeah. We always like the Penderin. Take care, friends. Gerald loves you to bits. Yeah. Take care. Merry Christmas, friends. Sending you the good vibes out there. From me to you. Yeah. Yeah. Alan is out for the count tonight. He's too tired to be bothered and to chill out, man. Thank you, friends. Bye-bye.